Good morning, children. So today we are going to start the fourth session of the topic. Maisha, read the first two sentences.
Yes, ma'am. Plants also show movement. Movement associated with growth is known as tropic movement.
Yes. Jyotsna, the second two sentences. Jyotsna?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. These movements are with respect to the stimulus. The movements are controlled by hormones.
Yes. So we have already discussed that most of these movements are associated with stimulus. That means the surrounding changes that happens for the plant, and they are controlled by the hormones that are released by the plant. Yes, Farhan, read the table.
Yes, ma'am. Tropic movement, hydrotropism. Stimulus, water. Chemotropism, chemicals. Thigmotropism, touch. Phototropism, light. Geotropism, gravity.
Now, in the previous class, we have discussed all of them. I want one example of each of them. Ubaid, hydrotropism, where stimulus is water. What is the thing that we have studied in the last class regarding it?
That the plant moves where the water is available, the roots.
The plant moves or the root of the plant moves?
The root of the plant.
Yes, the root of the plant moves towards the source of water. Yes. Next one, Darwin, chemotropism. Example of chemotropism?
Ma'am, reproduction in plants.
Reproduction in plant. In specific, there were events that we spoke about. Yes, reproduction in plants is a by and large example. Development of the
Fruit.
development of the pollen tube is an example of chemotropism. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, Jheel, example of thigmotropism.
Ma'am, example is tendrils.
Yes, tendrils growing towards the
Growing towards the support where it can grow.
yes. So tendrils growing towards the support where it can grow is an example of thigmotropism. Now, Shamak, example of phototropism.
A plant moving towards sunlight.
Yes, one only change, the plant bending towards the sunlight. Yes, the plant, or we can say the stem of the plant bending towards the sunlight. Yes, Shamak?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Geotropism, Shivani?
The plant grows towards the negatively geotropic and the roots grow positively geotropic.
Plant shoot grows negatively geotropic, whereas plant root system grows positively geotropic. Yes. When examples of these tropic movements are asked, you cannot just name root, shoot, fertilization like that. Please write the complete sentence to specify that which event can be called as the example for these things. Yes. So today we are going to understand how these movements are happening and what are the different plant hormones that are going to control it. And also we are going to understand that certain movements in plants are independent of growth. That means they are not associated with growth of the plant. They are something which is very similar to our reflex action. So first start with the hormones. What are hormones? Hormones are basically chemicals. Chemicals which are released in any organism's body and which has certain properties in it which allows the organism's body to realize that the body is expecting it to move or to show certain changes. So hormone basically is the chemical which can coordinate between growth, development as well as response to the environment. Now in plants, like human has a brain, plant doesn't have a brain. So how does plant understand that the sunlight is coming from one side, so the shoot has to bend towards it? Or the water source is towards the left, so the root has to grow towards the left. All these identification of the changes in the stimulus is generally done with the help of hormones. And in plants, there are 4 main hormones: auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, and abscisic acid. Ethylene is not there in your book, but I have added it as it is one of the important hormones that are present in plant. Now, auxin, gibberellin, and cytokinin basically helps in growth of the plant. Whereas abscisic acid is exactly opposite to it. It inhibits growth. It doesn't allow the plant to grow. And ethylene is the hormone which helps the fruits to ripe. All of you might have seen that raw mango is green in color, whereas a ripe mango is yellow in color. Raw mango is sour in taste, ripe mango is sweet in taste. So these changes which is happening not only in mango, but in every single fruit, certain changes happen when the fruit ripes. That is because of the hormone ethylene. Yes. Now, let us see what are there for the next one. Auxin. Where is auxin present generally? Auxin is present in the root tip and shoot tip because auxin helps in improvement in height. So, most of the time you might have seen the tip of the root. From there the new leaves grow. The small new leaves grow and the shoot again continues to grow further. So this movement of the plant in upward direction is because of auxin. Now, when we say that in phototropism, the shoot is bending, the tip of the shoot starts bending. That is when the entire stem starts bending. So that tip of the shoot, when it bends, that bending is also responsible because of auxin. Now let us see more precisely that how does auxin controls this. Look at this tip, this shoot. It has bent in a U shape, a curved one. Why? Because the light source is towards this side. So when it is bending, how does this bending is happening? Generally the tip of the shoot is seen like this. Now the pink dots that you are seeing are the auxin molecules. So if the sun or the light is on the top, then what happens? Most of the pink dots are present on the tip of the shoot at the center. So the plant continues to grow in a straight line. Whereas think of the time when the light is coming from one single direction. Then what will happen? The shoot has to bend. Now, if I bend my hand like this, my curvature on the lower side is less, whereas my curvature on the upper side is more. That means more number of cells are required in this side of the shoot than the other side. It is as similar as if you have seen a car driving, you might have observed that when the car takes a left turn, the left wheel rolls for a smaller distance, whereas the right wheel rolls for a bigger distance. In the same way, more number of cell elongation is required on the other side of the sunlight. So these cells keep on stretching themselves so that the cells which are small becomes big, and they help in making the curve. So that is how the auxin is generally helping in bending of the shoot. Now, is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
My question goes to Dishita. Dishita, what is the main function of auxin?
Auxin is present on the root and shoot tip and it helps in growth of the plant.
growth of the plant. And more precisely, we can say that it helps in cell elongation. Yes, growth, that to cell elongation. Now, Sarvajit, in normal condition, when the sunlight is coming from the top of the plant or from every direction, where is auxin maximum present?
Ma'am, it's maximum present at the shoot end.
Shoot end, correct. My next question goes to Tehnia. If the sunlight is coming from one particular direction, where is the concentration of auxin more?
Towards the downward direction.
Tehnia, look at this diagram carefully. The sunlight is from this side. Is the auxin concentration on the side of the sunlight or opposite side of the sunlight?
Side of the sunlight.
Okay. Now you see in this diagram, the shoot is bending towards the
opposite side of the sunlight.
Which side the shoot is bending?
Opposite side of the sunlight.
Opposite side of the sunlight. Okay. Once again, you see.
No, like
if this is the shoot, the sunlight is present towards the right side of the shoot.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now the tip of the shoot is also bending towards the right side of the shoot. Yes.
Right side of the shoot, yeah.
Yes. Now,
yes,
is auxin pink dots available on the right side of the shoot or the left side of the shoot?
Left side of the shoot.
Correct. I think if this is the bending of the shoot, the auxin is not present towards the direction of the bending. It is present away from the direction. When the shoot is like this, and the sun is like this. Now, auxin is not present on this side, which side the sun is present. Auxin is present on the other side where the sunlight is not present.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear, Tanya?
Clear, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. Anyone else having any doubt? Nida, Vivek, Varda, Hafsa, all of you switch on your videos. Jyotsna, switch on your video. Again, my question comes to Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi, where is the auxin concentration seen before bending of the shoot? Is it present towards the light or away from the light?
Ma'am, away from the light.
Away from the light. Now my next question goes to Yuvika. Yuvika, why it is present away from the light?
Can you repeat it once?
Why the auxin concentration is present more away from the light? Not towards the light, but away from the light.
Ma'am, so that the cells can elongate?
Yes, so that the cells,
sunlight.
correct. So that the cells can elongate and the stem can take the bent structure to move towards the light. Is it clear to all of you now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Hafsa? Once again, what is the function of auxin?
Ma'am, it helps in increasing the height of the plant.
Height of the plant, yes. And helps in making the cells elongated. Done. Varda, where is auxin mostly present?
Ma'am, auxin is mostly present on the tip of the shoot and root ends.
Tip of the root.
Yes, ma'am.
Tip and root tip. So I hope auxin is clear to all of you. We will move on to the next hormone, which is cytokinin. Cytokinin helps in cell division. That's why I was so specific while explaining auxin, that auxin helps in cell elongation. Cytokinin helps in cell division. Both of them result into growth of the plant, but the contribution towards the growth of the plant is in different way. Now cytokinin, wherever it is present, it is always responsible for faster production of new cells. And most of the time it is seen when a shoot or shoot bud is developing or fruit is formed, where in a very smaller span lot of cells have to be produced so that a bigger mass of any particular part of the plant can be grown. Now, as I told that auxin is present in shoot tip and root tip, cytokinin is present in every single place where there is production of new things. Now, if this is a stem, you might have seen leaves going on both the sides. Yes, from the stem or from the branch or from the twig, the leaves grow on both the sides. So every place where there is connection of the twig and the leaf, the cytokinin will present. I will take you to the previous slide to make you understand that cytokinin will be present in every node where the leaf is formed. Here and next again the next junction here, then again next junction here, then again next junction here, then again next junction here. Whereas auxin is present only on the tip. So cytokinin is present in every single junction where there is development of a leaf or maybe a branch. So any place where there is formation of a new part of the plant, there is presence of cytokinin. That's why it is called as, it is mostly found in auxiliary buds. Auxiliary buds means the places where the leaves or the buds are growing. Yes. Now, this cytokinin is directly proportional to the development of the new cells. Now, if you see, more the cytokinin, more will be the process of mitosis. More will be the process of mitosis, more cells will be formed. And more cells will be formed, that will result into plant growth. Now, what is mitosis? Yes?
Ma'am, you said the cytokinin is present in what kind of buds?
I said every juncture where there is development of a new part or auxiliary bud.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what is mitosis? One single cell dividing into two cells. That is called as mitosis. This is a normal process of development that is seen in any living organism when a new body part is formed or the body part is growing in size. Yes. So when as a new seedling plant will be this small, whereas a grown up can be a huge tree. So that growth needs more and more production of the cell. So more and more production of the cell will be associated with cytokinin. Yes. So cytokinin is directly proportional to the number of cells present in a plant. More cytokinin, more will be the number of cells. Now, is it clear to all of you, the cytokinin part?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. My question goes to Karun. Karun, which are the parts where cytokinin is present?
Auxiliary buds.
Auxiliary buds and any juncture where a new part of the plant or new
part of the plant is
plant is developing. Yes. Okay. Auxiliary bud or any part of juncture where the new part of the plant is developing. Vivek, my question goes to you. Relation between cytokinin and plant growth.
If the cytokinin is more, then it will be producing more mitosis.
Vivek, can you be little louder?
If the cytokinesis is more, more mitosis will be produced. If the more mitosis are produced, more cells will be produced in the plant, and those cells will be helping the plant growth.
Yes. So more will be the amount of cytokinin, faster will be the process of mitosis. And if the process of mitosis is faster, then more number of cells will be produced, and more number of cells will result in plant growth. Yes? My next question is for Dishita. Dishita, what is the relation between cytokinin and plant growth?
Ma'am, when cytokinins and plant growth are directly proportional, so the more the cytokinins, the more the plant growth.
Yes. Correct. Now, Pranavi, in mitosis, a single cell divides into how many cells?
Ma'am, 2 cells.
2 cells. Shivani? Shivani?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference between auxin and cytokinin?
Auxin helps in elongation of cells and cytokinin helps in the development of cells.
Okay, auxin helps in elongation of the cell, whereas cytokinin helps in increasing the number of cells. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Is cytokinin and auxin clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So can we move to the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Next one is gibberellin. Now, what is the function of gibberellin? One is increasing the height. The second one is adding cells. Gibberellin most of the time increases the girth of the plant. The word girth means the width of the plant. You might have seen that many, like mango tree, when it is a seedling, the stem is thin and green, whereas a mango tree has a huge brown color trunk. So that development also needs addition of the cells and production of cells and growth of the cells. That kind of growth is generally seen in because of gibberellin. First function of gibberellin, increases the girth of the plant. Second thing, it breaks the dormancy of a seed. Dormancy, do you know what is dormancy? Dormancy is until you put the seed in soil and put some water in it, it will not start growing into a plant. Yes, if you keep the seed just like that, it will also stay in that dried condition only. So that dried condition of the seed is called as dormancy. Dormancy means something which is dormant, which is sublimed, which is not in action. So the seed is not in action when it is dried form, and that is called as dormancy. As soon as the seed is put in soil with water, it starts the active function. That means it starts germination. So to start the germination, gibberellin helps. Gibberellin is the hormone which identifies that the seed is fallen into a favorable condition. Favorable condition means it has water around it, it has sunlight around it, it has soil with nutrients. So now the seed is present in exact thing where the seed can grow. But the seed doesn't have a brain to identify that the seed is in a favorable condition. How it will identify? With the production of gibberellin. As soon as gibberellin is produced, the seed understands that favorable condition is around it. The shoot tip and the root tip immediately starts growing out of the seed. So it helps in breaking the dormancy. Gibberellin helps in increasing the girth of the plant, and it also initiates flowering. Like when the cytokinin cell division starts, because of which the bud will open up into a flower. But before the action, when the bud is formed, gibberellin is the one which helps in formation of the bud, as well as allowing the bud to develop properly so that it is ready for blossoming. So 3 functions done by gibberellin. First one, girth of the plant. Second one, breaking of dormancy of seed. Third one, it starts or it initiates flowering of the plant. My question goes to Vardha. What are the 3 functions of gibberellin?
The first function is it initiates the growth of the plant in terms of width. Second, it starts the process of germination in plant. Third, it helps to initiate the appearance of flowers and also checks the condition for the plant to grow.
Yes. So these three. Now when I say increase of girth in the plant, if it is a mango tree, you can easily identify that the stem was thin, green, and a grown-up tree has a brown big trunk. What about a shrub? Like a grass which is growing, a herb like grass. How do you identify that the girth has increased? Grass doesn't have huge stems to identify. So how do you understand? Then look at the next picture. These are two kinds of plantation. In the right hand side, the plantation has no gibberellin in it, or the gibberellin has been inhibited. The next one is a gibberellin responsive plant group. Now, if we take individual plant from both of the sides, you can easily identify that the one which is present on the left side is more branched, whereas the one which is on the right side is less branched. And this is like a huge bunch. This is not a huge bunch. So when I say girth of the plant, if it is a huge tree, the stem can be seen in the form of girth. Whereas if it is a shrub or the herb, gibberellin helps in profuse branching for those kind of plants. Profuse branching means more number of branches are formed. Yes? Clear for the herbs and the shrubs? Now, let us recall the functions once again for gibberellin. The first function was it helps in increasing the girth of the plant. Second function was it helps in initiating, or it helps in breaking the dormancy of the seed. The third function was it helps in initiation of flowering of the plant. And now the fourth function gets added. It helps in profuse branching. Yes? Shivani, again tell me the 4 functions of gibberellin.
Helps in increasing the girth of the plant.
Yes.
Flowering.
It initiates flowering of the plant. Yes. It initiates flowering of the plant. Second one done. Then. Yes, Shivani, 2 more.
Profuse branching in shrubs and herbs.
Correct. Profuse branching in shrubs and herbs. And the last one. Breaks the
dormancy of seeds.
Breaks the dormancy of the seed. Very good. Now, Nida, can you repeat what Shivani has said?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Gibberellin helps in the girth of the plant, increasing the girth of the plant.
Yes.
It breaks the dormancy of the seed.
Yes.
And it initiates flowering.
Yes.
And it helps the plants to have early growth.
Correct. So these are the 4 functions of gibberellin. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now the last hormone of plant, abscisic acid. As I told in the beginning of the session also, these 3 help in growth of the plant. Abscisic helps in inhibiting the growth of the plant. That means it stops growth of any plant. So first function, most important function of abscisic acid is it inhibits growth of a plant. It doesn't promote the growth of a plant. The second function is it causes wilting of leaves. Wilting of leaves means leaves are generally green and fresh to look at, but when wilting happens, the same leaves become yellow in color and they are the dead leaves which are further shed by the plant. So it causes wilting of leaves. And third function is it causes seed dormancy. Seed dormancy means when the seed is not in favorable condition, it doesn't allow the seed to start germination. Yes, so it causes seed dormancy. I'm again repeating. The first function, it inhibits growth. That means it doesn't promote the growth of the plant. The second one, it results in wilting of the leaf. Wilting. The third one is it causes seed dormancy. Yes, I want Vaishnavi to repeat the three functions of abscisic acid.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The first one is it doesn't allow the plant to grow.
Yes.
Second one is it helps in shading of leaves.
Okay.
And third one is it causes seed dormancy.
Dormancy. Yes, seed dormancy. Shedding of leaf, instead of that, it is better if you say wilting of leaf. Yes, Vaishnavi?
Yes.
Wilting of leaf causes shedding of leaf. So wilting of leaf means when the leaf turns yellow. After it turns yellow, then only it will be shedded. So first this process happens. So it causes wilting of leaf. Now look at this diagram. This is how the normal leaf looks like when it is fresh. But as soon as the production of auxin stops in it, the ethylene starts growing, and so is the abscisic acid inside it. As the abscisic acid is growing, you can see that the restriction of auxin happens in the leaf, and the color of the leaf also starts changing. In the first one, it is completely green, whereas in the second one, the center is yellow and only the edges are little green in color. And in the last one, it is complete yellow in color without any single tinge of green. Now this wilting of yellow color, wilting which is resulting into yellow color, is because of abscisic acid. And the shedding of the leaf happens because of the ethylene that is developed here in the juncture. The ripe fruit, does the fruit stays in with the plant throughout the time until it rottens over there, or it falls down after a certain time?
Falls down.
It falls down.
It falls down, correct? What makes the fruit to fall down? It is, does it mean that when it gets ripe, all of a sudden the 10 kg fruit will start weighing 100 kg and the plant is not able to bear it? No, it is not for that. The size of the fruit remains the same. Once the fruit develops from smaller size to bigger size, that is the matured size, after that it starts ripening. So when the ripening starts, ethylene starts forming. Ethylene starts to form inside the fruit, because of which a sweet smell comes out of the fruit, any ripe fruit, and the sweetness is developed inside the pulp. Along with that, what ethylene does is, like how you see here the juncture of the leaf and the branch, in the same way in the fruit also there is a petiole which joins it. The ethylene grows there also, which slowly detaches the fruit from the tree and the fruit falls down. In the same way, yes?
Ma'am, is this necessary for the growth of plant? This,
yes, it is.
The wilting of leaves.
Now, why do you think the abscisic acid is needed? Good question, Jyotsna. Do you think inhibition of plant growth is needed?
Ma'am?
Not only you, I am asking to everyone. Children, it is a common question. How many of you think that inhibition of plant growth is needed? Like somewhere the growth of the plant should be stopped or the growth of the plant should continue? You can unmute yourself and answer.
Ma'am, it should stop.
It should stop now.
It should stop. I got two answers from Shamak and Dishita. I want answer from everyone.
Ma'am, it should stop growing.
Stop.
Stop.
It should stop. What will happen if abscisic acid is not formed and the growth is not stopped? What will happen then?
Plant will continue growing.
Plant will continue growing. That means the huge structure of plant, will the stem be able to much huge structure of plant?
No, ma'am.
Keeps on growing. No, it cannot. Correct? Then what will happen finally? The whole structure will fall down. The stem can bear certain amount of weight. It is not a bahubali to hold anything in its hand, correct? So somewhere the branches, the leaves, the fruits have to be stopped. So that stopping is seen in case by the help of abscisic acid. So it is not that it doesn't promote growth, that means it's a bad hormone. It doesn't promote growth, and that not promotion of growth also is needed in any kind of living organism. Think of us, if we keep on growing, what will happen to us? Yes, I want an answer from everyone. Don't look at me through the screen. What will happen to us? We keep on growing and growing and growing. Yes?
We'll just become tall and we'll just become tall, and each of our skeletons will become as tall as us.
Do you believe we all will grow into giant demon kind of things?
Yes, ma'am.
When we walk, we will be pushing, pulling each other because we need lot of space to walk. Yes, poor plants can't walk, so they won't be pushing or pulling anybody, but the stem cannot hold it and it will fall down. So abscisic acid inhibits. That doesn't mean that it is a bad hormone. It is.
Ma'am, but my question was different, ma'am.
Yes.
I mean the wilting of leaves, not the stopping of the growth.
Yes. Wilting of trees. If old leaves don't wilt, how the new leaves will grow?
Ma'am, but if the old leaves stay healthy, then what is the need for new leaves?
Now, in the old leaves, the waste keeps on depositing.
Okay.
So slowly the efficiency of photosynthesis goes down. Now, we might be happy to have a leaf which has less efficiency of photosynthesis, or a new leaf growing in its place which had more efficiency. Which one the plant would prefer?
More efficiency.
Correct. So that is why it is needed that the old leaves are wilted and then they are shaded out of the tree.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So abscisic acid inhibits growth, but it is good in its own way. Otherwise, all the trees will turn into bahubalis and they will fall down. Yes? So in the same way, like human growth is stopped after a certain period of time, plant growth also needs to be stopped after a certain period of time. But this abscisic acid, when the development of the function of abscisic acid was found, and there synthetically it has been produced in the factories, it has been used largely in one place. Can anybody think and tell? With plant abscisic acid, where human use it purposefully? Anyone?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question once again?
Okay, abscisic acid is a natural hormone which grows in the plant. After the development of the function of abscisic acid, that means after the identification of the function of abscisic acid, people started manufacturing abscisic acid artificially and using it in certain way in the plants. Can you guess where human use it?
Ma'am, to obtain rubber?
It's not there in the book. So don't search in the book or the soft copy.
Ma'am, to increase the plant growth.
Increase the plant growth, it's stopping the plant growth.
Ma'am, to obtain rubber?
Rubber?
Yes, ma'am.
Why all of a sudden rubber? Means what came into your mind that you associate abscisic acid with rubber?
Ma'am, because right now for the leaves, you said that they have all the excess waste and they hold the waste. So this waste is used as a rubber. Latex is rubber, right?
Now, latex is not formed in the leaf. Latex is formed in the stem.
Yes.
Yes?
Ma'am, how about stopping the height of a shrub? Like tea is actually a tree, but it is to maintain its short.
That could be one, but I was not directing towards that. All of you have seen bonsai plants.
Right. Yes.
Huge trees now come in such small size. Yes? And we happily keep it indoor to decorate our houses. How do you such a huge tree is combined in such a small place? It is because of injecting abscisic acid on the tip or shoot tips of the plant, so that after a certain period of time, the pace of growth becomes so slow that it is hardly seen, and the plant remains in a smaller size. Yes? So are the hormones clear to all of you?
Yes,
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank God I saw some smiling faces at least. From morning I see as if I am doing some torture to all of you. Faces. So now let us move to the nastic movement. Till now these hormones, tropic movement are one kind of movement where growth is seen. Whereas there is something which is called as nastic movement where there is no growth. That means most of the time it is like response to stimuli, how we give. Now nastic movement, it happens, a brilliant example is touch me not or mimosa plant. If you touch the leaf, it closes. Now that is called as nastic movement. The communication happens in the plant by electrochemical way. That means chemicals are passed on with the help of ions in the plant. As the movement in a nastic, the pace of movement in a nastic movement is very fast. Look at this. Now the first leaf, if you see, half of the leaf is closed, whereas half of the leaf is still open. So when you touch a plant, it may happen, a touch me not plant, the entire leaf closes, or it may happen that half of it is closing and half of it is not closing. That means in mimosa plant, this movement is basically not based on the, it is not dependent for the entire part. It may happen to only half of the part. As much the impulse can be carried, or the hormone can be carried, or the chemical can be carried, till that part only the effect can be seen in a nastic movement. Like in tropic movement, we have seen the entire shoot to bend. We have seen the entire root to bend. Here it is not part specific. It is only the part which is associated with the development of the chemical. So that is called as nastic movement. And the pace is also much faster. It is quicker than the previous type of movement. Touch me not plant, after touching, how much time it takes to fold its leaves? Maybe 1 second it takes to fold its leaves. So it happens really fast. Now this, where the touch is used, it is called as seismonastic movement. Now in nastic movement, the types are not there in your book, so I'm not going to go in that detail about the book, but any kind of response to stimuli is considered as nastic movement. It is independent of growth. It may happen to one part of the plant only. It is not associated with the entire part. This is the basic difference between tropic movement and nastic movement. I would like to ask you to read one by one difference. Yes, Hafsa, read the first difference.
Movement which involves growth and directional movement towards the stimulus is known as trophic movement.
Pranavi, the Nastic movement first point.
Yes, ma'am. Nastic movement. Movement which doesn't involve growth but has non-directional movement is known as Nastic movement.
Done. Jheel, the second point on both the sides.
Yes, ma'am. Trophic movement. It is an example of slow movement. Nastic movement. It is an example of fast.
Done. Yuvika, the third point on both the sides.
Yes, ma'am. It involves the work of hormones for communication. It involves the chemical electrical communication.
Yes. Sidra, the last point.
Trophic movement. The movement is shown by all parts of the plant. Nastic movement. The movement is not shown by all parts of the plant.
Done. So this is the last slide of today. So I hope you all understood the difference between Nastic movement and trophic movement and how each of the hormones help in trophic movement. These all things you have understood well. Is there anyone who is having any doubt? Please ask.
Ma'am, can you go back to the previous slide? I want to see the points.
Which one?
The difference between trophic movement and Nastic movement.
You want to note down?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry, I shared.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, could you please explain Nastic movement again?
Okay. Let me first show the slide so that those who want to jot down can jot down, and I'll explain at the same time.
Yes.
Is it okay, or should I make it slideshow?
It's fine, ma'am.
Okay. Varda, I think you asked the doubt for Nastic movement.
Yes, ma'am.
Varda, any movement that happens like response to stimuli is known as Nastic movement. The basic difference between Nastic and trophic movement is trophic movement involves growth and direction. Nastic movement involves only direction, not growth. Involves response to stimuli. The growth is not involved, and direction also is not involved in the way that there is no specific direction we can predict that this is the direction in which the movement will happen.
Yes, ma'am.
You might have observed sunflower moving with the direction of the sun.
Yes.
So if you keep the plant in a direction of where sun rises and sun sets, it moves from east to west. But if I change the direction of the pot, then it will start moving in different direction. That means the movement is independent of direction. Based on the stimulus, the movement will happen.
Yes.
Yes. So I think Narayan Rao sir's class will start now. Jyotsna, can I stop sharing? Morning, I took the
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When I took the attendance, some of you were not present. I quickly, those who have already given attendance, please, you can leave the meeting. Those who have not, please stay back. Farhan, are you present?
Yes, ma'am.
Nida, are you present?
Yes, ma'am.
Then Sidra, present?
Yes, ma'am.
Then Sufia? Sohail? Varda, present?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's it. Okay, children, you can leave the meeting. Thanks for attending today's class.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Varda,
Yes, ma'am.
why your sister is not attending the doubt clarification session? Huh?
I don't know.
You don't know? Ask her to attend. You better know. Yes, ask her to attend for her class. She is in grade 6. The classes are going on. Teachers are teaching also actually in those classes. That's why I'm asking. Tell your sister to join.